Hello everyone. I am Ayushi Agarwal. My registration number is 19BBS0116. And today I am going to talk on the topic ways and means of conflict management. What is a conflict management? Conflict management is the practice of being able to identify and handle conflicts sensibly, fairly and efficiently. Since conflicts in a business are a natural part of the workplace, it is important that there are people who understand conflicts and knows how to resolve them. This is important in today's market more than ever. And why I said that is because everyone is striving to show how valuable they are for the company they work for. And at times, this can lead to the disputes with other members of the team. How can you manage the conflicts? The first and the foremost thing is to accept the conflict. Remember that conflict is natural and happens in every ongoing relationship. Since conflict is unavoidable, we must learn to manage it. Conflict is a sign of a need for change and the opportunity for growth, need of new understanding and improved communication. Conflict cannot be resolved unless it is addressed with the appropriate individuals. Second, be a calming agent. Regardless of whether you are being a sounding board for a friend or you are dealing with your own conflicts, your response to the conflict can escalate or decrease the intensity of the problem. To be calming, provide an objective or a neutral point of view. Help plan how you are going to work with the other party to achieve the resolution. Third, listen actively. Work through how you feel, what the specific problem is, and what that problem is having the impact on you. Fourth, analyze the conflict. This will help you clarify the specific problem. Some questions that you can ask for this is: what triggered the conflict? Who are you angry with? What are you not getting that you want? What are you afraid of losing? Is the conflict accurate or it's over exaggerated? How can your conflict be resolved? Fifth, use model neutral language. When people are in conflict, they use these inflammatory languages such as name claiming that escalate the conflict. Restate inflammatory languages in a more objective way to help make the information less emotionally laden and more useful for the future discussions. Sixth, separate the person from the problem. View the problem as a specific behavior or a set of circumstances rather than attributing negative feelings to the whole person. This approach makes the problem more manageable and hopeful that deciding you can't stand this person any longer. Seventh, work together. This requires that each person stop placing blame and they take the ownership of the problem. Make a commitment to the work together and listen to each other to solve the conflict. Eighth, agree to disagree. Each person has a unique point of view and they rarely agree on each and every detail. Being right is not what is important right now. When managing a conflict, seeking the truth can trap you rather than set you free. For example, considering the different testimonies of witnesses that all see the same car accident. Truth is always relative to the person's point of view. Ninth, focus on the future. In conflict, we tend to remember every single thing that ever bothered us about that person. People in conflict need not to vent out about the past or dwell on the past. Often the best way to take ownership of the problem is to recognize that regardless of the past, you need to create a plan to address the present conflict and those that may arise in the future. 10th, move past positions. A position is the desired outcome of a conflict. Often the position is that I need a new roommate or this person is impossible to live with. Positions are not negotiable and results in impasse. To resolve conflict, each person has to move past positions. 11th, share your interests. To solve the interpersonal conflict, all parties must talk about their interest on the whys behind their position. They must share their true interest and work together to find a solution that satisfies those interests. Common interests for students are to sleep, study, entertain, and relax in a comfortable atmosphere. Often their interests are more intangible, such as respect, belongings, friendship, and fun. When individuals have differing lifestyles, values, and schedules, the need to discuss their differences is critical in managing conflicts. You must develop a balanced plan of giving and taking that satisfies everyone's interests. 12th, be creative. Finding a resolution to the problem that satisfies everyone requires creativity and hard work. Be careful not to just give in simply to avoid conflict or maintain harmony. Agreements reached too early usually do not last. So try to generate silly options to begin thinking outside the box of the original positions. 13th, be specific. When problem solving, be very specific. For example, if you're using a roommate agreement to facilitate the discussion, make sure that everyone fully understands each point that is written down. Clarify the ambiguous terms that each person may interpret differently. And last but not the least, maintain confidently. Encourage others who are in conflict to deal directly with the person they are in conflict with. Avoiding the conflict and venting to others tends to escalate the conflict and fuel the rumor mill. If rumors are already a part of conflict, then encourage them to work out a plan to put an end to the gossip. Thank you.